Hey guys, welcome to the SRM Gaming Podcast. I'm Temperistic. I'm joined with Babais,
Hello.
waiting for Crusher here, and then we've got Colton here as well, helping out. Gonna be talking about some gaming stuff today. We've got Valorant, Counter-Strike update. Gonna be talking about Call of Duty Warzone, Doom Eternal, new game just came out, along with Animal Crossing New Horizons. How you doing, Babais? How you doing? How's it going?
It's going good, man. It's been trying to drink some coffee. I was watching, take some time watching some of our streamers this morning, and I was watching Metzi play a couple of games. I know we're gonna get into Warzone a little bit later, but been watching that. I've been trying to catch a lot of our streamers online right now too. What about you?
I've been kind of bored, gaming wise. Not really anything to play. No new games coming out. Today, actually, Cyberpunk was going to come out, but they delayed until September 17th. So if they didn't, I would be playing that. But unfortunately, I'm gonna have to wait. Along with Watch Dogs got delayed. It was supposed to come out earlier this month. So
I
just
gotcha.
been doing my second run through of Red Dead Redemption 2, having a little bit of fun with that, playing some Hearthstone. Nothing else much. It's kind of stale right now in the gaming scene for me.
What's going on with Cyberpunk? Can you like kind of fill me in on that? Just because I'm not familiar.
So it's kind of new. They've got who's that actor from John Wick? The movie John Wick. Can't remember his name. Keanu Reeves. He's gonna be in it. Yeah, he's advertising the game and stuff. It was announced at E3. It's just like a super pack RPG game, but more details is gonna be shared on that. Obviously, it's not too close to when it's gonna be released, so they're gonna be coming out with more trailers on that. But
Nice.
yeah, it's kind of still in the dark right now a little bit.
Very cool.
But let's get started with so obviously bigger than Fortnite is a game called Valorant that just came out. I'm not sure if it's still in beta or not, but I know a lot of streamers have been playing that.
Yeah, I've been watching a lot of content. I think that's been pushing out on social media with Valorant, and most of the tweets that I see out there are people that really, really want a key. So I totally understand that. As far as content, I'm really hyped to see like all the content that's going to get created with Valorant. Especially with the article that we were looking at today, it really does feel like a Counter Strike, kind of a mix of Counter Strike and something that we just really haven't seen before. And so I was watching Carson's our general manager at SRM Gaming, and he posted a clip on Twitter, and he did some sort of like flick snipe shot that you would see in like Counter Strike. And I just thought it was really cool, and he did it so effortlessly. And I was I was talking with him. I was like, I don't know how you do that without like screaming and running out of the room.
Yeah, there's been a lot of crazy stuff coming with Valorant. I think it's like interesting too. Cause I don't know if you can do it in Counter Strike, but I know that in Valorant, a lot of crazy clips have been happening with people being able to shoot through walls and stuff. Like the bullets are able to like penetrate really easily through walls, and people have been getting crazy clips of just like not seeing people and still getting kills and all that. I think it's kind of interesting. It seems more of like um, I don't know, not like more of like a colorful, like fun version of Counter Strike mixed in with some Overwatch abilities, like like a little bit more fun for kids and stuff. Because I know
Gotcha.
like Counter Strike came out like a while ago. I don't know if it's been out for like 20 years or whatever, but it's just not like as colorful for kids as like they would want it to be. It's kind of like a little bland. So this little like new art design over it is bringing in a lot of people. I know that I think Twitch just broke a record with I think I saw it had like 1.3 million concurrent viewers when I was like browsing and I saw that it was number one. And I was just like I had to take a look at it again because I couldn't believe how many people were watching it.
Yeah, I think we posted something on Twitter too, an article about like the most watched. I believe it was from like the week, and that's insane to me as well. Just seeing how many people are really in tune with that, because you never know when you have these games that are coming out, especially like a live stream platform, at how well they're gonna do right away. Because sometimes they don't like get really like received well, without naming names. But yeah, it's really, really interesting to see that. And you were talking about getting shot, like people are able to shoot each other through walls. Is that like something that's happening constantly?
I don't know constantly. I don't know if it's like an ability tied to one of the characters, but I was watching a clip of Summits, and he just flicked, and I think it was the last guy in the round that he had to kill, and he just flicked and shot a random bullet through the wall, and he killed the guy and won the round. And one guy that he was playing with started screaming and stuff, and the bullet, you could see the bullet that went through the wall, and got the guy. So it seems like it's a lot more realistic than Counter Strike. Like, I don't know, it's just crazy. Just how, I don't know if it I don't know if it's something you can do consistently, but just how the bullet is still there and you can see exactly like where it went through and got the guy. It's pretty crazy.
That's cool. Have you seen anything on those superpowers too? Because I remember I watched a clip on that of somebody. I think that they like jumped like 10 feet or something like that, and they were able to dodge a bunch of bullets.
I haven't seen that, but I've seen like I've been trying to watch and follow the abilities because I've watched tons of Counter Strike before, and I generally know it's a tactical shooter, and I know just the speed of the game and how it plays out. But I'll be watching, and then randomly like a blue bubble of flames will pop out of nowhere, and people will be throwing like these green things everywhere. I haven't been able to figure out the abilities too well, but um, on the Counter Strike side of the gameplay, it seems really fun and something that's easy. It's easy for a lot of new people to watch compared to Counter Strike, I think. And it's going to be able to bring in people from Overwatch too, since seems like the abilities in Valorant are very similar to Overwatch abilities. But something else I want to talk about with Valorant that I've been seeing is there seems to be a lot of drama around drops from streamers. Like a lot
Oh
of top
yeah.
streamers, like Summit and others, they've got drops enabled on the stream, which means that somebody can come into the stream. I don't know if they have to watch for a long time or if it's just random RNG, but people can get beta keys or stream keys for the game, and they can play it just from watching someone.
What do you think? And this might be a little pushy on this. What do you think? Like, is that great for like people that are watching that are just trying to get a key? Because I watched. There's a couple things I wanted to say about that, and one of those is that I saw somebody's tweet that said they've watched like 80 hours of Valorant and still haven't gotten a key. And then I saw somebody else's, and I can't think of their name, but he's somebody who like posts like these little funny sketches about like just gaming sort of stuff. And they were saying like just about typical things that people come into the Valorant stream and they're just asking for a key and then they leave directly after that. So do you think it's great for not only those streamers but also Twitch itself?
I think it's kind of like a double-edged sword. I know a lot of streamers like some they don't really care about it. They're just like, yeah, it's there for my viewers. It's cool that if they're able to. I think it would have been better if it was just for subs. So it could be an extra benefit that somebody that has been subscribed to like Summit or I can't really think off the top of my head somebody else that had a drop enabled, but they can come in, they are able to get the stream keys since they've been watching and subscribed to the streamer for 2 to 3 years or whatever, and they can get rewarded even more for it. um, but yeah, I don't think it should be available for people that have never watched a streamer and they're just coming in there for the stream key. I mean, it does add another viewer on top of however many people are watching, so yeah, that's a good thing. I know Summit. He's been the number one Twitch streamer out of this. I think he got to like 70K subs, and he used to just be at like 20K. So it's definitely.
Wow.
I know he said that this is like the high point in his streaming career and stuff. He's definitely been having a lot of fun in it, but with drops, I think that they need to next whatever next game comes out where there's drops like this. I think they need to monitor it more. Like Twitch needs to monitor it more, and other streaming platforms, because people like Dr. Disrespect and other streamers have been, just putting in their titles that drops, are enabled, or they just somehow incorporate in their title that drops are happening even when they don't have access to the drops. So it's kind of like false advertisement. And I know Dr. Disrespect and other streamers have been getting a lot of flack for that. But yeah, this it's not really a new thing, but with a game like this that has just blown up even more so than Fortnite did when it came out, there just needs to be more, I think Twitch just needs to watch it more for whatever game comes out next, and make sure that streamers aren't abusing the system when they don't have access to the drops.
Was Fortnite doing like those drops then too?
No, because Fortnite was in beta forever. But from what I can remember, because I played when Fortnite first came out on, because I didn't play it on PC, I played it on Xbox when it came out. And it was free. You didn't need a key or anything. I know you needed, if you wanted to play the story mode, you needed to pay money for that. But for the battle royale, it was free to anybody. You didn't need a key or a code. You could just hop it and play. Just download it.
I gotcha.
But yeah, I think Valorant's fun. Looks cool. I'm not really into tactical shooters. I'm more of I played countless years of Halo, so I'm more into that kind of gameplay. Just not too much in depth, not too much thinking involved. Just in your face. Just who's got the better gun skill type of games. That's what I'm into. But I'll definitely be watching. It's definitely interesting, and something that I think is going to blow up the esport industry even more.
I was about to ask you that too, and maybe this might be the last thing we touch on this. But what do you think is going to happen with this game and esports? Because Counter-Strike seems to be like such a big thing with esports, and has been forever. Like you were saying, that game has been out so long, and I know so many people have been playing Counter-Strike. Do you feel like it's going to take off just like Counter-Strike has with esports?
Well, first thing is, I'd be a little surprised if, I think Valve is the one that made Counter-Strike. I'd be surprised if they didn't try to get some kind of lawsuit going, because if I was the one that made Counter-Strike and I've been putting all this time into that game for so many years, I'd be a little mad right now if I saw Valorant coming out and it looks just like my game, just a little bit more, colorful, better animations and stuff. But I mean, if that doesn't happen, and Valorant is just able to do whatever it wants, I think it's going to, definitely bring in a lot of new viewers. I know, things like the Call of Duty League, the Overwatch League, they've brought in, celebrities like Jennifer Lopez, Shaquille O'Neal, and other celebrities have invested money. So yeah, I think it's definitely going to bring in a lot of outside sources that weren't in the gaming industry at all before.
Sure. Yeah, that's something I didn't even think about too, with the Riot Games, and then also on Valve. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with that.
But anyway, moving on from that, have you played Call of Duty Warzone yet, or?
No, so I haven't played Warzone. I've been following it a lot just because I've streamed Call of Duty for, gosh, I don't even know, like 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And I also played Halo like before that too, so I definitely can relate with you on that. But yes, I've been watching Warzone, and it's crazy to see Warzone. I was doing a podcast probably a couple of weeks ago before we did this one, and I was talking about that because the interviewer asked me, what do I think about Call of Duty right now? And I'm really pumped to see where Call of Duty is going. We have so much of this free content that's coming out with Call of Duty, and it's such a switch from like the DLC stuff that we usually see with you're paying DLCs every single, like it's like every single season. So every couple months you pay for a DLC. And so to see something come out with Call of Duty, because they have the free content with the DLCs, but they also have Warzone, on top of that too, which I think is great. It's funny. So I was watching Metzi earlier, and he's playing Warzone, and he gets stuck when he was playing. He was getting stuck on a rock. So I I don't know if they have some bugs that they got to fix and they got to address with that, but it'll be interesting to see what happens. I don't really understand the money things yet, so like paying money to revive people, the gulag, which I think is kind of cool.
Mm.
Um, and it's a lot different than the Black Ops 4 Battle Royale that I saw, a year ago. I know this
Oh
was
yeah,
something that was,
Blackout.
yeah, Blackout. Yeah, I saw it was rumored. I know a lot of people were hyped for it, and I think they were more excited when it came out. So, what are your thoughts on it?
So I definitely need to play more of Warzone. I played a little bit of like regular multiplayer before, and I didn't really like it because of like people camping and putting C4. So I took a break from it. But when Warzone came out, I definitely came back. And probably the most interesting thing to see from Warzone compared to other battle royales is that it's 150 people instead of 100. Like Fortnite's 100. Um, I know Apex they've got their team thing going, and it's smaller and squad based and stuff like that. PUBG's 100 people, so for them to add 50 extra people, yeah, I'd say that probably adds a little bit more stress on the servers, and might create a little bit more glitches here and there. Um, but I like right now, I think it's probably the best battle royale that's out compared to Apex, compared to PUBG, Fortnite, and all that. Um, like even when you just start up a game and the animation goes and you see this huge plane come out of the clouds with just amazing animation, and then you look over the map, you don't even have to open the map to see where you want to go. I mean, if you want to go further away, you do. But the cool thing about this battle royale, and I don't think any other battle royale has done yet, is they've put the names above the towns or the cities that you're going to be landing in. So if
Oh
you're
yeah,
if you want to
yep.
land in the airport, it'll say the word airport right above where you want to land. And I think it's a really cool layout to see. You're just flying over, and all these clouds are passing you by, and then you just see all these names over the different areas. Um, and in regards to the money thing, I think this is like a very intricate barrier. With you definitely have to put a lot of thought while you're playing. Do you want to spend your money reviving somebody? Because I believe you can buy the I can't remember if you can buy the self revive before your teammate dies and get that ready, or I think you might have to save up your money and do it while they're dead. I can't remember that. But you can buy like a airstrike. You can buy like different kinds of kill streaks that definitely sway the game to you, and gives you a huge advantage. And then you can also go to I don't know what they call these things, but there's like these little loadout areas that you can go to, and you can pick your own loadout, whatever you want. And I definitely think that balances the game out towards the later stages of the game, because people will have um, you know an assault rifle with a grenade or a flashbang or whatever, or they'll have like a sniper, or it'll like the loadouts. There's only like I don't know, 6, 7, 8 loadouts that you can get from it. So, compared to I don't know, there's probably like at least 50 guns, maybe more than that you can get just by looting. But I think there's going to be less of a variety going on in later stages of the game. So it'll be more about gun skill um, than just like random RNG with weapons.
When we talk about battle royales, which ones are you playing? Because I play Apex and I played Blackout and I played, gosh, I'm gonna try to think, H1Z1. And so when I'm
Oh,
looking at a battle royale to try to play, I'm kind of like looking for that experience factor of how is this gonna make it better? Like how is like what's gonna make me want to play this? Because usually when I'm playing a battle royale, if I'm not playing solo, I'm trying to play with like a few friends or something like that. Um, do you think like with those things that you were talking about, um, with the more people, with the names, with the different cities, do you think that's enough? And just like I guess the Call of Duty experience to bring other people from those other games over?
I think what they've done is like before they even came out of Warzone, they were paying attention to what the community has been saying about all the other battle royale games. Like a lot of people complained about, even though there's 100 people in my game, I'm having a hard time finding people, and there's these long dull moments where you know I'm just, looting when I already have everything I need and I just want to go and fight, but I can't find anybody. So they've added these extra 50 people to try to, combat that, which I think is really cool. And I know a lot of people will be like, oh, that's just going to add to the chaos and stuff. But I've played solos. I know they just came out with solos. They came out after squads, but I've played a few games and I haven't really had a problem with, I fought one person and then another person comes. I haven't had a problem where I'm getting shot by 4 or 5 different people at the same time. But I think if someone's looking for a battle royale game to play, personally, I want it to be kind of more on the fast paced side. I want there to be a couple minutes at the beginning where I'm going to be looting and stuff, but I don't want to wait until my backpack is 100% full for me to go and fight. I want to just give me an assault rifle, give me a sniper. Okay, I've got a couple things so I can heal. All right, now I want to go and I want to go kill people, and that's how I want to get my loot, just so I keep the gameplay going, because I get kind of bored easily. I've played PUBG and I get bored in that because I'll be playing with people that like to play a little bit more passive. I'm more on the aggressive side. I've definitely picked that up from Halo, but personally, it's either I'm gonna play Warzone or Apex Legends. PUBG is cool and stuff, but it's been out a while, and the developer just has been kind of struggling to not only increase the frame rate and the graphics and the resolution and knock out the glitches, but the maps they've been making just aren't kind of ideal, and they're not different enough from each other to make the game more fun. So I definitely want to just stick to Apex, a fast-paced game, or Warzone, because Warzone's fast-paced too, just depending on how you play. Because you can run and then you can sprint, and then there's tons of vehicles everywhere. Versus Apex, where there's no vehicles, and then versus PUBG, where the vehicles barely spawn anywhere. So.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that. I know Metzi put up something on Twitter the other day of him. I think it was with the AX50 just sniping somebody out of a car, and I was like, or I think it was a Jeep. Maybe I should clarify that. And that to me, I'm just like, wow, that's awesome that you can do that. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Battlefield if that was like a battle royale. So that was cool. It's really interesting. I'm really curious too because I don't know this off the top of my head. As far as maps, because it feels like we rotate maps, especially with battle royales, with Apex Legends. Those seem to change every single season. I know Fortnite's been changing things up. So I'm curious, and I can't remember if they changed the map recently or if that's going to be something I'm looking forward in the future. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'm just interested to see where they keep going with this.
Oh yeah, definitely. And something else, even my first game when I played Warzone, something else I noticed was they kind of took this from Fortnite. But in Fortnite, if you remember, when you're looking for chests, you can hear them from pretty far away before you even see them. And they've done that in Warzone too, where it's got some kind of audio that comes from the chest, so you know that you're pretty close to one. And there's been a lot of different battle royale games. That you open up the chest and the loot kind of is just I don't know, it's just kind of hard to go through. But I think they've done a really good job at when you open the chest, the loot kind of disperses so that there's enough room to where it's not on top of each other, so you can get a good look at everything, and you don't have to worry about ammo or money being on top of each other, because all you have to do is walk over the ammo or the money and you automatically pick it up. And then another thing I wanted to say regarding the Gulag is, not only is it, unique, and it's just something that I didn't even think about, it would be in a battle royale, like a second chance kind of thing. But it's actually really competitive. 1v1 with a flag in the middle. And then you have your teammates that are sitting on the sidelines throwing pebbles and rocks at the opponent. I mean, I've been more nervous in the Gulag than I have been at the end of a game when there's only a couple more people to kill.
Sure, because that's just if you don't win that, then you're totally out and you can't help your teammate.
Yep. But other than that, I think Warzone is definitely going to be a very popular battle royale game for a long time, as long as they keep updating it. I don't think it needs any updates right now. I think it's good for a while. Um, since the map, I think the map's bigger than either as big as a PUBG map or bigger than that, because they need to expand. They need to have a very big map to fit an extra 50 people in it.
Do you think that's gonna like keep happening with it being in Twitch's top categories like throughout the year? I know Call of Duty usually has like this initial push, and then people either they get sick of playing it, there's something else that comes out or something like that. So there's usually, and it happens every single year at Call of Duty. There's a huge push at the very beginning of the game that lasts probably until like the next one comes out, a little bit past that. Do you think there's enough like stuff there to keep that like hype up? Because I think there is. I definitely think Call of Duty right now is being talked about more than I've seen it talked about in the past. Maybe minus Infinite Warfare, but I don't really want to get into that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm just curious too what you're thinking, because I think with stuff like Warzone, and just the innovation of that, I think it's going to keep going, because like nobody thought that was going to be coming, and they thought it's Call of Duty, it's just going to be like how it is. We don't think a BR is coming out. We got that in Blackout, but yeah, I'm just curious if that's going to keep happening, because it seems like, as you were saying, there's a lot of people on it.
Oh yeah. I mean, if I was Activision right now, and we've got you got Sledgehammer, you got Infinity Ward and Treyarch making Call of Duty games. I wouldn't come out with a Call of Duty game. I would wait like a couple of years, because right now they've got something really good with Warzone, and yeah, they can come out with a Call of Duty game this November or October like they usually do, and they can make another battle royale game game mode with it. But I don't think that it's going to be as good as Warzone, because I play Warzone and I don't really have any complaints with it. I'm always able to find decent weapons, and even if I die right off the bat because of bad RNG, I get a second chance to come in. So I think it's the closest thing to perfection they're going to come out with. So it's very risky if they're thinking about coming out with another Call of Duty game with the Battle Royale this November. So I think they should just sit on this and just ride it out.
Were you able to see, just because I know you play like old school Halo, were you able to see that Modern Warfare 2 like remastered got released as like a DLC?
Oh, yeah, it's not really too much to talk about there. It's just it comes out, I believe, in 10 days. It's already come out on PlayStation, but they get exclusive stuff over there because
Sure.
Sony has a deal with Activision. But it's just $20 for the campaign. Um, not too sure why they didn't come out with multiplayer like they did with the remastered version of the first Modern Warfare, because I played that and that was really fun. But it's just campaign, $20 for the campaign remastered, so it's cool. But it would be better if they came out with multiplayer with it.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. I don't understand like that whole thing. Is like, why don't you just do the multiplayer as well? Like, granted, I think it'd be more work, but I would honestly rather not see the DLC. I'd rather just get, like a Modern Warfare 2 remastered and just release that as like its own title, and just be like, okay, if we're gonna play this, we're gonna play it like COD 4 is. I think COD 4 remastered is.
Yeah. But regardless, it's gonna be fun, and it's good that they just made it $20. So it's a little some.
Sure.
But anyway, moving on. I don't know if you heard or if you even played or seen any gameplay from Doom Eternal. It came out towards the middle of March, I think.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me.
Did you play the Doom 2016 or?
No, so I haven't played any Doom. I got a buddy of mine who he streams all the time, and he got Doom when that came out. And I was watching him play, and what I love about Doom and like first person shooters and that sort of like FPS that you see on old school consoles. I'm trying to think of the game. Um, I got it in my notes here. Give me one sec. Unreal Tournament. It really
Oh
feels like
yeah,
Unreal Tournament to me, just watching that. And so as far as like a comparison to like the one before it, I'm not like the person for that. But I will say just watching it, I just gives me so hyped doing it. And he was playing on, I think, on the hardest difficulty, and he's just like that type of a person who just wants to rage and play that. But yeah, I was just, I don't know, just watching that, and just it reminded me of just like kind of like what a first person shooter looks like, and something that you can come back and play every single day, where it's like, okay, if I want to stop playing Doom today, I can come back and I'll just be as excited as it's got that arcade feel that you get at like, like a rest in peace, but arcade things that you used to go to in like the mall. And I miss that. I miss that in games, and so I'm really excited about that in like Unreal Tournament, or not Unreal Tournament, but in Doom. So that's what really got me excited, and just seeing like somebody like getting, I don't know, like the whole chainsaw thing, I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, my buddy. Yeah, back in middle school, my buddy, we always talk about Unreal Tournament. And did you ever see any gameplay of the multiplayer they had in the new Doom?
No, I haven't seen anything on that.
It's so it's very similar to Quake. If you ever seen Quake,
Yeah.
they don't have, kind of like, Call of Duty. You've got sprinting in Call of Duty and the new Halo games. You've got sprinting there. You've got sprinting in Apex. You get sprinting in pretty much every multiplayer game out right now. But in Doom and Quake, they just, what they did instead of having sprint is they just upped the player speed, so you're moving around pretty fast. And it's kind of like I don't know, I want to say a dumbed down multiplayer, but like a true arena multiplayer experience where you don't have all this flashy stuff. It's just who can move around the map the best, who can take the best routes, and who can control the map and get all the power ups and power weapons. And something like that's pretty interesting in Doom that obviously you can't do in Quake is you can turn into like a huge demon and just wreak havoc on everybody and just tear everybody to shreds, which I think is pretty cool. But yeah, I played tons of Doom 2016. I just got done with another run through of Doom 2016 because I just had so much fun playing it. Just the guts and the gore, and there's like 2 or 3 different ways to execute each demon. If you jump above them, if you come behind them, and there's like, I don't know, there's like 30, 40, 50 different kinds of demons. Yeah, and heavy metal music, and it's when I first played it, it was like almost impossible to just like stop playing it. I was playing it for like 6, 7 hours, and it felt like I was
Yeah.
there for only like 30 minutes because of just like how much it grabs you and pulls you into the game. And it keeps you just involved, like barely. I mean, there was narration, and there was some story, but it wasn't like over the top cinematics that would take 10 minutes to get through, anything like that. The developers really did a good job of keeping you in the gameplay, and gave you a little bit of idea of what was going on in the story. And you pick up these little I don't know, tokens or little USB drives, and it would give you a little bit of lore of each demon if you wanted to read it, so they wouldn't shove it in your face like other games have. But yeah, it's just really fun. I will admit I'm not too excited about Doom Eternal as much as I am about the Doom 2016. They admitted that they kind of went away from Doom 2016's gameplay, where it was on the serious side and stuff, and they've kind of gone on the arcadey side with Doom Eternal. They've added more puzzles, um, more ways to kill the image, which I think is cool. Like you can set them on, you can set them on fire, and you've got like an extra like punch that does an enormous amount of damage. Depending on how many demons you kill before you use it. There's like a lot. This is like, it seems more of like a jumping game. With more puzzles, and you got to do a little bit more thinking in Doom now than you did in the previous one, which I'm not really a fan of. I go into Doom wanting to just kill demon. I mean, I don't want to just walk down a narrow hallway the whole entire time and kill demons, but I don't want to have to like sit there and think like, how do I? Okay, so I gotta jump on that and swing over here, and I gotta time that, fire circle, so it doesn't kill me. I don't want to do that every room that I get into. But it's definitely been fun. I've been playing a little bit of Doom Eternal here and there. It definitely hasn't grabbed me like the previous Doom did. It's more intricate than the previous one. It's a lot more colorful. The one thing I will say about Doom Eternal though that I really like is they've added these tutorials in that weren't in the previous that wasn't in the previous Doom, where like for newer players that have never played Doom before, whenever they get a new ability or something like that, it'll take you into this room and it'll describe what you can do now, and it'll let you test it as much as you want, and practice it, so you don't die from not knowing how to use it and stuff like that.
Does it feel as up close as like you're looking for in a shooter, like you were mentioning with Halo?
In Doom 2016, yes. I mean, you are up close and Eternal, but there's just something about the animation on the demons and the gore that seems like fake to me, which is kind of weird because you'd think, the sequel to a game, it would be more gory, it would be more realistic, but to me, Doom 2016 was more realistic than this one. This one seems like they tried a little too hard to make it realistic, and now it's just there's like pink and yellow and orange colors everywhere. I mean, I'm still kind of messing around with the settings and stuff like that. I know you can kind of turn the contrast down on the colors and stuff, but um, yeah, I just prefer the art style and the way they did the gameplay in Doom 2016. But yeah, it's still fun. I'm still having fun, killing demons, and there's new demons to kill and stuff like that, and new weapons and new attachments and stuff. It's all right.
And then, what do you think about the soundtrack to this? Sormas. Sorry if I mispronounced that. His comment too. I really love that about Doom games. It just
Oh
feels
yeah.
like this whole like you're just at like a rock show or a metal concert, and it's just I don't know. It just hypes me up, especially when you're trying to fight demons and trying to figure out what else you're trying to do. Um, and yeah, I'm just curious what you think on that, just because I know you've been playing it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely hardcore. I mean, um, I'm, like I won't search up heavy metal music on my Spotify or anything like that. I definitely like rock and stuff like and guitar and the drums playing and stuff. But it definitely fits perfectly with the gameplay. You're killing and demons. You're picking up a power up where you don't need to use your gun anymore. You can just tear apart these demons with your hands, and the music just gets heavier and heavier. And it definitely fits. It's not out of place. It's perfect. The music, the soundtrack they picked. Um, I think Doom Eternal, the music is. I haven't really noticed the music too much in Doom Eternal compared to Doom 2016. I mean, it's definitely there, but it seems a little bit lighter or a little bit quieter. Um, but yeah, in Doom 2016, they definitely made the right choice having that type of music in there, and it definitely um, was part of the reason why I played so much Doom uh, 2016 to begin with.
Sure. Sorry,
And
I'm just
then,
kind of pausing. I want to see if anybody in chat too has any questions that they want
oh
us
yeah, no
to
problem.
talk about. We
Yeah,
cover
we covered Valorant.
yeah.
Um, have you played Animal Crossing at all, or?
Nah, so I haven't played any Animal Crossing, and I actually been like, especially with the quarantine right now, I'm so just ready to buy a DS. I'm not sure if Animal Crossing is on the DS. Feel free to correct me if I'm wrong or write me up or however you want to
That
do that.
that is a good question. I'm not sure. I know it's definitely one of the games they're pushing hard on the new Switch console that Nintendo came out with. I'm sure if it's not on the DS, they're definitely gonna port it over because I know there's definitely a lot of people that still. I don't know about the DS. I only have the first DS they ever came out with, but I know they've made like newer versions of it and stuff. But I don't know what they're gonna do with that. but I've seen a lot of gameplay so far of Animal Crossing just because it's kind of interesting to me a little bit. I used to play Harvest Moon a lot on the GameCube, and the gameplay kind of reminds me of that. Not too interested in the avatars. I think they look a little silly. They kind of remind me of I don't know if you remember on the Wii when the Wii first came out, Wii Sports. Yeah, they kind of remind me of Wii Sport avatars. But in terms of like customizing your house, I think that's pretty cool. I've seen just countless designs of people, practicing their interior designs, for Easter, and I'm sure they're going to come out with a lot of cool stuff for the 4th of July and Halloween and all that, and that's going to look pretty cool. I know a lot of people have spent just tons and tons of hours of fishing and looking for items. I'm probably not gonna get it. I don't even have a Switch. If I was gonna get a Switch, I probably wouldn't get it just because it's just not my cup of tea. But I mean, it looks. I can definitely see why people are addicted to it. People are laughing and having fun on it, and I think there's these like present boxes or something that people open. It's kind of like Counter-Strike, where they go crazy if they get like a knife or something like that. But yeah, I definitely get the appeal to it. I don't know if you've seen any gameplay of Animal Crossing.
Yeah, so I and I can't think of the person's name. I need to start writing these down because I'm just all over our social medias and I see so much stuff and then I'm like, gosh, I want to be able to quote some of this sort of things. But I saw somebody who said that they were playing this game with their mom during quarantine, and that made me think. I'm like, wow, so this is like something that maybe you can bond over on that, and of course you can do that with kind of like any games that families are into and whatnot, and so that was curious to me, and I'm also like, yeah, I definitely feel you on the Wii. That's kind of like an interesting look, and maybe that's just like a Nintendo thing. We're like, okay, we don't know what kind of do with avatars, so we're gonna go with the I think they're called Mii's. Is that right? Mii
Memes?
model? Yeah,
Oh,
Mii?
I've heard about that.
I'm not sure. Also, hey, Modi, thank you for this sub. I don't know if we're allowed to say that.
I think one thing that I've seen from Animal Crossing that's kind of interesting is I guess the villagers are like different in each town you go to. Like some like I saw some memes the other day of people posting about like villagers from the previous Animal Crossing game that like they were kind of like mean to you or something like that. Like they would constantly like you just walk by and someone would just say something bad about you or whatever. Um, and like I was watching somebody stream Animal Crossing last night, and she would go. I guess there's this like stork or some bird you can go to, and they'll fly you to another town or another city in Animal Crossing. And like one town, people are just saying nice things. Next town you go to, people are saying bad things, and like 3 or 4 times in a row, people were just saying bad things, and it's kind of weird. I don't know what the whole thing behind that is to just like add some lulls to the game or
Like, is
what.
it pretty, like, I don't know what the game's rated, but is it, like, I don't know, pretty up there with, like, just swear
Well, like
words?
like
Or...
one thing could be like um I don't know, I think I saw something like some villager was like talking about like the person's fishing. I think the game like tracks like what you do, like if you're catching like rare fish or rare items or not, and like you go by a villager, and then the villager will bring up that you haven't caught anything good in a while, and they'll just be like, if you were better at this or that, then you'd get what you want or something like that. So the villagers are just like talking down on how you're not able to get what you want.
I saw a picture, and I don't know if it was like Photoshop or something like that. And I went to the word, but it said like holy, and then you can think of what else it said on that, and it said
Oh
it's
yeah.
a shark. And I'm like, is that actually in the game? Like, I don't know. That's cool to me, maybe because I'm older, but it's just interesting to see that because I would imagine that game is just targeted to, I don't know, just like somewhere where you're having a good time. So I don't think of like seeing stuff like that in it, like that kind of humor. Um, and so that's just surprising to me to see that.
I know there's tons of different there's tons of different like customization options that people can do. I don't know if they can customize their like clothes, but I've seen tons and tons of different things that they put in their houses. Um, like people will like looking like some pictures right now. People can put like gnomes in front of their houses, and they can put like tombstones. So there's tons of tombstones and like coffins around this one person's house, and then someone else will have like a garden, and I guess you can even customize the environment to have like waterfalls and rivers, and like you can have it to where you're like next to the beach, and you have like a dock that you can fish off of,
Wow. Okay.
and you can even put in like a pool or jacuzzi, and yeah, it's just crazy. Like people, like you can even put farms, I guess. So I don't know how much customization they put into, or like how much somebody can customize their house or around their house, but it seems like it's like almost endless at this point, because I'm just seeing like tons of different designs here.
It's kind of like the Sims, but I don't know. That's just immediately what I thought of, and then also Fable as well. When you're starting to talk about gnomes, there's a quest in Fable with a bunch of gnomes, um, and that's really cool that you could do the Warcraft horde dress as well. That's super cool. I would imagine it, yeah, if it's just somebody they want to start just making a world and just making it their own, and that's really cool to me. I like that whole immersive thing because one of the things that I really like about I play a lot of multiplayer games, but I'm playing single player games. I'm trying to find something where I can get immersed and just kind of like just bring up the storyline, and so that sort of stuff like really appeals to me. Um,
Oh, you like lore and all that?
yeah, like the Skyrims, the Fables, the Oblivions. I can get stuck in the World of Warcraft too, but the quests kind of get repetitive. But if I was playing some Warcraft 3, I get really into that. I mean, even Halo's doing too. I kind of get into that as well. Yeah, I'm just kind of like looking for lore to take me,
Well,
and
if you
so
want
I'm.
lore, go play Destiny too. They've got so many cards. Like I used to play like a lot of Destiny 2. I'm taking a break right now until they come out with the next expansion. But like you'd like one complaint they got in the first one was you would have to go onto their website to read all the lore. So now they put it into the game, but they put so much in the game to where if you were gonna read it all, you'd be there for like I don't know if I could even get done with it if I read all this stuff for 24 hours straight. There's so many different cards, so many different stories for each character that's like not in the cinematics.
Sure.
So I mean, if you like lore, you'll definitely. I mean, I don't know if you would want your lore in the cinematic or if you would rather like read it.
Yeah, I mean, either of those is good. The one thing that pushed me off about Destiny 1 was there was somebody, I don't know if they were like the Lightbringer or whatever that storyline is on Destiny 1. I don't know what it is. Somebody can like explain that to me. That'd be awesome. But it was a cinematic, and the guy looked like he had a Sketcher on his face, like the Sketcher shoe. And I'm like, I have nothing. Like the only connection I have with this game is that I'm playing with a group of friends and it's fun.
Oh
But
yeah,
I
like a
don't.
weird helmet on.
Yeah, and it looked like somebody's like top of a shoe, and I'm like, I don't, I have no relationship with this game right now. Like I don't get it. So yeah, and speaking of that too, because I played Destiny 2 as well. It's a great game, and there's so much to do it, and yeah, I can imagine there's a bunch of lore on it as well.
Yeah, the first story, yeah, the first one they definitely the story was kind of all over the place. When they added the DLC in, they kind of did, yeah, kind of like strung some things back together and kind of answered a couple questions here and there. They did a better job in the second Destiny, coming out the straw off the bat, being able to tell the story pretty good, and who the antagonist is going to be, and how we're going to stop him, and they added more like side missions and stuff, so they definitely did a better job with the second one here. But still, a lot of people are complaining that a lot of people that, because I used to just grind Destiny every single day, and the game, usually a lot of people that play the game get out of their jobs, and they can only play like a couple hours a day, so obviously they're not going to run out of content. But for someone like me that was playing the game for like 10, 12 hours a day, and I eventually ran out of content. And I was like, okay, hello Bungie, DLC, next thing,
Yeah,
let's go.
right.
And it was getting really repetitive, and like that's why now I'm even on a break because last time I went on a grind, just ran out of things to do. I was doing strikes and the same missions every Tuesday because that's when the weekly reset was, and I was just trying to get my. It was kind of like World of Warcraft where you know you do all the quests and now you're just trying to get to the highest level. Um, Back when I played, I think the highest level was 90. I think it's over 100 now, but um, yeah, it just comes to a point where you're done with the story. You know pretty much everything. You can, if you play through it again, you can recite what everyone's saying, at what given time. And then it's just like, okay, now I'm just a zombie that's just trying to get to the highest level.
Sure. And then with let's bring us back to Animal Crossing too. So you're thinking like, is it the what you can do with like people afterwards with those games? Because like eventually you run out of content, and then you don't really like, why am I gonna come and play this game? So I'm just curious what your whole thing on that, because I feel like that with World of Warcraft, it's like, okay, well, I'm not gonna like, no, if I don't pay attention to the lore half the time on that because there's just so much going on, and um, and so what brings me on that is just playing with friends, kind of like the unique features. Maybe I want to like make some money on the auction house or something like that. Try to make some nether weave bags or something.
Oh yeah.
Uh, yeah, so I'm just curious because it seems like with those games like that, where you have so much content and so much lore that when you run out, you're like, okay, what's the next thing to do? And it seems like that might be, at least to me, to be playing with friends. If you haven't done that already.
Um, yeah, for sure. I mean, just reading with someone. Someone was saying that they made a World of Warcraft horde dress for themselves, so I guess you can't customize the clothing. Um, and they created Pokemon designs. See that there?
Yeah, sorry, I'm a little slow.
But that was like when I first saw Animal Crossing. That was the kind of like because I remember when Pokemon was 2D on the Game Boy Advance, and now they have it to where like you can play on the Switch and it's like 3D now. Yeah, when I first saw Animal Crossing, the new one, I was like, that kind of looks like someone walking around in Pokemon.
Sure.
But yeah, it definitely seems like a fun game. I see why people like it, but I'm gonna stick to my killing people in games and rated M for mature stuff.
Sure. So Darth, you're saying, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce like the other thing on that, and I don't want to mess it up. Um, you're saying like the content refreshes itself on Animal Crossing every single year. So if they have like content scheduled out for the year of like different holiday events, like you're saying, things to do, and then it changes the next year. I mean, that's cool to me. Just if something to get on and then have it switched up, because I know um, back to World of Warcraft, same thing. They do that. They have like these different things going on throughout the year, and that's something that will actually bring some people back. Because I want to go to, gosh, I can't even think of the names. Like different festivals, like they do stuff on the holidays, like Easter, or Christmas, that sort of thing.
It kind of reminds me of Destiny. They in Destiny 2 they kind of change around the like different planets that you can go to like every year. They change around like you go into this room and you remember it inside and out and now it looks completely different.
So you can go to like different planets on there. Because I know with Destiny 2 that they had stuff that was locked if you didn't have, was it Shadowkeep? I want to say with Destiny 2.
Yeah, so like now you can go to the moon because a lot of people um were talking about when Destiny 2 first came out and they beat the campaign. They noticed that you couldn't go to the moon like you could in the first one, and with Shadowkeep they brought back the moon and a bunch of different areas you could explore on there. But I mean, you can go to Earth, you can go to Mercury, you can go to Jupiter's moon Titan. um you can go to. I know in the first one you go to Venus. You can't go to Venus in this one, but yeah, there's a bunch of different areas that you can go to. and I'm sure they're gonna add another social space too, where you can hang out and like go into your vault and change around your weapons and stuff.
Sure.
Probably the funnest thing in Destiny 2 for me is like collecting all the emotes, and um, this is like kind of funny what they come up with. Like there's this one emote where your guy is like golfing and he like misses the ball and then he slams his uh, putter on the ground and like breaks it and throws it.
Why is that okay? Why is that a thing now? Because I've seen that with so many games. They're just coming out with emotes, and I don't know, man. It just seems like such a crazy thing because I'm not only thinking Fortnite, I'm thinking it, Destiny, gosh, yeah, H1Z1 off the top of my head. I think even Call of Duty does that now. It seems like that's like a big thing too. I remember seeing too with like Fortnite dances of people creating videos on that as well.
Yeah, I think the developers just trying to add like more fun to the game, more like just like because I know there's emotes in Destiny to where you can have your friend come over and he would have to activate the emote and give you a fist bump or a high five.
Sure.
But so as we come to an end on this podcast, what we're going to be doing every podcast is we're going to be shouting out somebody that's been doing really good in the SRM gaming community. And one person I wanted to shout out that's kind of new to the team. She just came on not too long ago. But I don't know if you've been watching the Goalie Bear at all stream.
Sorry. That was a bad time to drink some coffee. Yeah, I have. Yeah, I really like Goalie Bear's content. And just a nice person too to interact with.
Yeah,
Sorry.
and I don't know if you noticed too that unlike most streamers that I watch, they can only play like a game for a couple hours, but she's just on that Destiny grind.
Yeah, and just I really enjoy going to streamers too. Um, I'm not sure your background is streaming. Like personally, I've been on streaming since like late 2013.
Yeah, same.
So for no kidding, that's crazy. Um, yeah, so like if I'm going into a stream, and I don't mean any like offense to this or anything like that, I'm looking for something like interactive, and I think the biggest thing, not just like the gameplay, is like the person. So that was one of the things that like when I checked the layout, just a nice person to interact with, and just entertaining stream too, and definitely has a lot of entertaining stuff because I know she's definitely has some like clips and stuff like that that are just awesome to
Oh yeah,
see
she's been
too.
posting on clips nonstop.
Yeah.
Um,
Which
and then like also like you could tell that she's not just because I know a lot of streamers they play a game and they don't really like it anymore, but they keep playing it because like, oh, if I know if I switch games I'm gonna lose like maybe half my viewers or even more, so they're scared to go try out a new game.
Sure.
Because I know when I streamed Halo, I had not an insane number of viewers because Halo's been kind of dying out over the years. Um, but I definitely realized that I only had a small percentage of the amount of viewers that I still had once I switched over to like Call of Duty or another game that was around the time when I streamed Halo. And I personally don't care as a streamer. Like I'm not gonna imprison myself in one game that I don't enjoy just for the viewers and all that. But one thing you can tell with Goalie is that she is having fun. And, like every clip that you watch, she's like smiling and laughing, and it's cool to see that someone that is dedicated to one game is still able to have fun. Every day that she plays it.
Yeah, I think that's really hard to do too. Just unless you really like enjoy the game, because there's definitely moments. I stream mostly like Call of Duty, and there's definitely moments on there where I can't say any of the words on here, but just like they're definitely gonna start cussing on sort of
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
And so Yeah, just seeing, and that really pushes me to streamers too. Just seeing them having fun during that because you just want to be involved. You want to talk with them, and also with that. And I also love when you go into a stream, and somebody's having a good time because I feel like the chat's like that as well. That everybody's interacting with people, everybody's talking, and that sort of stuff that you just enjoy. And so I love that about streams, and I love that about our stream as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. And also Swordmaster's Crucible, which something that I'm not too much of a fan of in Destiny. It's their PvP game mode kind of take, because the people that made Destiny made the original Halo 1, 2, and 3, and they kind of try to take that arena s gameplay over to Destiny, and then they added abilities, ultimates, and all that stuff. I personally don't like Crucible, but yeah, I've watched Goaliebear. She's really good at PvP multiplayer, and then something else I want to say was like you stick with a game for a long time, and new people that come into your stream, they ask you for uh, tips and tricks and all that. She'll definitely be able to help out new players get good at the game, and I don't know if she does this. I know a lot of bigger Destiny streamers. They because they just came out with Trials of Osiris, which is the most popular PvP game that I think Destiny has come out with. It's like a 3v3 round based kind of search and destroy type thing. And what the streamer will do is they'll take a couple of different viewers or subscribers, and they'll help them out and get their Trials of Osiris wins in. Because I think it's you have to win 7 games before you lose 3, and then if you are able to do that, then you go to I think Mercury, and you get like a bunch of like legendary gear and cool stuff. And I think they call it going like flawless if you go like 7-0. And like sometimes in Destiny streamer titles, you'll see doing flawless runs with subscribers or viewers and stuff like that. So
So
um,
she's been doing that as well. Just summon up
I'm not,
viewers.
not sure if she has been or not, because I haven't watched her too much recently. But if she is, that definitely brings in more viewers too. If you're like helping out.
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
Um, and then so just want to let everybody know that this podcast is going to be up on YouTube and Spotify, along on Apple too. Um, and it's going to be up on next Monday, so you can listen to this podcast again if you want to. But other than that, that's going to do it for this podcast. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thanks for adding in your takes, your questions, comments, and yeah, we'll be here next Monday to do another podcast. Thanks, Golden, for production, and appreciate you being here, Babais.
Hey, anytime. Thank you guys for hanging out too. Appreciate it.
Have a good one, everybody.